What are the major competition for Harley Davidson in 2023? So let's get into this, okay? Harley Davidson are a company that's evolving. And we can see that with the Revolution Max engine, with the electric bikes. And if the small displacement engines from the 350, 500 from China, from India come online, that's going to be a massive change for the company. But where do Harley Davidson, where are they going to get their main competitors for 2023? Well, here's where I see it. They're going to get their main competition for, let's say, the Softails and for the Tourers from Honda. The Honda Rebel 1100T, CMX 1100T. That's going to be a big one for Harley Davidson. They're also going to get much bigger competition from BMW, the R18. They're also BMW coming out with the R12 as well. So that's something they need to pay attention to. It's kind of not really competition for Harley Davidson, I don't believe, because of the numbers, but Indian motorcycles, that we know, have been coming on strong, but they've kind of plateaued and fallen off, and they've been suffering with the similar kinds of issues that Harley Davidson have. But they've got some decent bikes in their range. Certainly the Scout, let's say, the FTRs, those kinds of bikes, the smaller bikes, let's say, that can put competition not only on the Nightster, the Sports Arrest, but also in the Softails. That's where a lot of competition is going to come from Harley Davidson. Now, in terms of, let's say, Harley Davidson of the Pan America, well, Pan America sold quite well in the last couple of years, but it is kind of the new kid on the block. Now you've got the likes of BMW, Honda, KTM, Ducati. Crikey, there's lots and lots of other manufacturers now who have jumped on this bandwagon to actually come out with a new adventure bike, and they're smaller displacement cc's. So they're looking at bringing the engine cc down, and this is where Harley Davidson may have that competition, not for the Pan America 1250, but for the Pan America 975, if they choose to release that in January. So there's going to be stiff competition. So here's the prediction from you guys, for you guys to say, well, actually, will Harley Davidson, the Pan America 975, will that sell as well as the Pan America 1250 in the first 2 years? I'm not so sure that it will, because of all this other competition that's out there. So Harley Davidson are going to have an interesting year for 2023. They're going to face a lot of competition for their existing model lineup. However, I believe that they can offset that with the introduction of these other models, broadening their range with the liquid cooled bikes, but also with these smaller displacement engines as well. And I think that's where the market is for Harley Davidson, the emerging market for Harley Davidson, taking that brand and just putting it in a marketplace, and then people can say, okay, I can buy a much cheaper Harley Davidson here, and you know what, I'm going to have lots of kudos when I'm riding down the street. It could work for them, it couldn't, but they're going to have stiff competition, definitely from BMW, because BMW, for their R18, they've been very, very sensible, in my thing, in many ways, a very Germanic approach with their R18s. They came out with one, then they've come out with the Bagger, and then the Tourer as well. Then they've got lots of different custom incarnations, and they're looking at 2023 bikes as well, not only for different variants or different options on the R18s, but they're also coming out with the R12 as well. And that is really going to challenge the Nightster and the Sportster S. So watch out for that. Watch out for BMW coming on strong. Watch out for Honda with their bikes as well. I say that CMX 1100 Rebel, that's going to appeal to a lot of people who do not want to pay the Harley Davidson price tag, but they definitely want to have that kind of cruiser, tourer, or semi-tourer motorcycle. So Harley Davidson will have a lot of competition in 2023. It's whether they can defend their corner and actually come out with more offerings, because if they just stay as they are, if they just stay with the Tourers and the Softails, what's going to happen is that the fan base that they have, they're going to look at those Tourers and Softails and saying, yes, these are great bikes because we're Harley Davidson fans. However, we're now talking about another 10-15% price increase on those models. Now we're looking at motorcycles that are way beyond our reach, and we've got another motorcycle here that is as good, performs as well. It may not be aesthetically pleasing, but it's going to save me £10,000 or dollars or shekels or whatever it is. That's where you've got to look at the competition. The competition is directly linked to what people can afford and not necessarily what people want. Harley Davidson have been feasting for many, many years now on what people want, on the aspirations. And people have been able to aspire to buy a Harley Davidson because finances, global finances, have effectively enabled them to do so with cheap financing. Now that's all going away. The times are changing in the financial market for everybody all around the world. Then people, if they are going to look at motorcycles, they're going to be looking possibly at the competition. So watch out. Let us know your thoughts on that. But this is the competition for 2023. That's going to be pretty stiff for Harley Davidson.